Hi everybody, welcome to Gunpla TV.
Hey guys.
Brought to you by HobbyLink Japan. Speaking of which, HobbyLink Japan is...
We're having a competition.
Yeah, we're sponsoring
if you don't know about it already.
That's right.
There were a few technical difficulties on the site, people not being able to properly post in specific groups.
Yep.
We think we've fixed that problem.
Yep.
If you can let us know if we haven't, or if you're having any other problems, just jump on the blog and just send us a message and we'll have a look at it.
Yeah, I'd like to mention that we kind of launched this site to kind of coincide with this big contest, but because we had never had this amount of traffic prior to this contest, we weren't aware if there were any bugs or anything like that. And now we're starting to see them, but we got IT guys that are taking care of it.
Yeah, they're taking
it's
very good care of it.
also worth noting that when you use like blogs or WordPress as a base, that there's these constant updates and plugins, and if one thing doesn't coincide with this other thing you've got going on, then issues surface. But you know, we're working on it.
Yeah, most of the community aspects of the site that just makes it even more complicated. But thanks for your patience.
Of course.
Yes, no, it is. Awesome prizes. Yeah, don't forget there's a bunch of prizes and people are already posting a lot in the groups. It all looks incredible, so thank you very much for that.
Good.
Now Sid went to the Tokyo Game Show.
I did. I went to the Tokyo Game Show this past weekend.
How was it, Sid?
Woo! It was so crowded.
I'm envious actually. Yeah.
Like normally, as we were talking about before, average attendance on a Saturday maybe 30,000 people. This year, because of the launch of the new systems and everybody wanted to see the PlayStation 4 and maybe a little bit of the Xbox One and whatever else they had there. And I think this year was the first year that mobile games really had a huge presence at the game show, and Japan loves that stuff. I think that first day someone told me there was the first Saturday was 100,000 people cycled through that building. And yeah, luckily for me, I was kind of near the beginning.
Okay.
Doors open at 10, I was there at 8 something. I met my buddy who had the tickets. We managed to get into the first line and was lined up all the way around the building. And you know, Makuhari Messe and Chiba is just this enormous facility.
It's huge.
The line went all the way around.
It's huge. And
I think around 10:40, we managed to snake our way in. He went right to Square Enix, and I went right to EA.
And played Battlefield 4.
I managed to play Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4. It's the first time they'd ever had it on console at some kind of Gamescom. Even so, I got 2 cracks at it. And yeah,
enjoyed it.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Now, there was actually something Gundam related there.
That's right. I told you it might be there, and it was. And I took a picture, even though they told me afterwards I wasn't supposed to. There is
taking risks.
Stuff I do.
Yeah, I know the stuff he does.
I managed to get some pictures of the PlayStation Vita that comes with a limited edition Gundam kit. Yeah. So in this set, I think they're going to sell it for like 43,000 yen. Which is significantly more than a normal Vita. It's going to come with the Gundam specific Vita, and on the back it's got these different like size of the silhouettes, saying 160, 1/100th, and 1/144th. And it comes with the Gundam Breakers game for Vita, and it comes with 2 kits. It'll come with the RX-782 and a Zaku. HG kits, and the Zaku is actually the RX-782 colors.
Now, I guess this is a Japanese-only release? Probably?
Yeah, it's only going to be available through online retailers. I think it's already on like Amazon Japan and Yodobashi Camera. And I'm thinking of picking myself up one.
Well, the great thing about the Vita is if you have the Sony PlayStation 4 with the, what's the $5 a month?
The PlayStation Plus?
Yeah, you get a bunch of cool games for it.
Yeah, you'll get continual downloads, and it can operate. They have what they call Vita TV, so you can like hook it up to a different TV and play separately, and it'll link to your PlayStation 4. And
well, that sounds cool.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be going to the game show next year, but it was good to go this time around.
There'll be a Steam box. Now, I guess we should get back to what just came in.
Yes, we should talk about episode 131, which is where we are right now.
Yes.
What are you going to show today, Ryan?
I'm going to talk about my Nutcracker.
Okay.
I've done a bit of masking and a bit of spraying maybe.
Yep.
But I know some hot new kits came in.
Yes, let's just go to the side here. First off, we'll start with the smaller box. It is the latest Valvrave kit, the Hinowa. Hinowa. Wa, in this case being ring, and he being fire. So it's the Ring of Fire! I've got the Ring of Fire right here.
Very
and
cool
this
design.
box, even when I picked it up, I could tell there's a lot of plastic in here. You know, it doesn't really give at the top. So we're going to open it up and just have a look at what's inside here. See what I mentioned about this box being full? There's lots of stuff in there. Anyway,
squeeze it some more.
Like that rhythm. Look at all the stickers you get. Valvrave is sticker heavy.
Yeah.
Even the kit we showed on the episode we did a couple weeks ago had a lot of stickers, but this seems to be even more. It just seems to be that much more stuff because there's so much more plastic here, and here's the main runner for the frame and everything else. You can see hands, but you also get, look at all this effect parts.
I really love their colors.
Yeah.
They really stand out.
You know, a lot of the Gundams, they come with just a beam saber or beam shield, and that's it. And sometimes to get extra effect parts, you'll have to go to their online shop. But with Valvrave, I think these effect parts are such a prominent part of the kit, the unit, that they pack them in there as well. Now, this is runner O, so you have quite a bit of stuff in here. Again, you get the black and the green. Now, there's a lot of green armor in this because it has a lot of attachments to the back. So you can see some of it here. You've got quite a few green runners. But this guy, oh, look at gold! Gold. This gold's actually pretty good. Doesn't look like the one
better than the Bandai?
Yeah, better than that gold frame.
Better than the other Bandai?
You're gonna get a stand.
Oh, you get a stand.
Stand to hold this beast, because this guy's pretty crazy. So I know a lot of people were waiting for this Valvrave kit. And they can now get it in their hands, lucky them, and start building. And if I'm lucky, I will be able to close this box again.
I doubt it.
I don't. What are you talking about? Look at through the magic of television.
Magic of television.
Boom! The big greenie.
Yes.
Ring of Fire.
Very popular kits these days.
Green Fire. Okay, now this is this month's Master Grade kit. All right, and it's actually pretty freaking wicked. It's the Strike Rouge. Now, when we had the Ale Strike remastered on the show, we showed everybody, and it was a good kit. This kit, I thought, you know, it's gonna be the same, and in a way, it is. I mean, if you look here, you can see that it's basically the Strike that we all know in
Except
different colors.
Rouge.
But the backpack is completely different. So I'm gonna open up this guy too. All right, first thing I see, of course, I see pink. Of course, these are going to be the same runners as the AL Strike, but just not white. They're just molded pink, and it looks like some parts have been moved away. You're going to get a lot of markings. So here we have dry transfers as well as stickers here. That's a lot of markings, actually. And this must be parts for like the weapons. And also, look at, you're getting even more. Look at all these little things. Foil stickers on this.
Wow.
Now, when it comes to the backpack here, you can see this is the first runner we encountered that actually has backpack specific parts here. A lot of the wings are in here, and there's a rifle and more backpack parts. I actually think there's more plastic in this box than there was with the Ale Strike, but I think the backpack is a little bit larger, which might be why. And look, this is the pinkest of the pink. Strike Rouge is pink. And of course, the stand. So you get a stand with this guy too. You do not get the same base that you got with the Ale Strike RM to do that launch. That was really cool. I'm kind of disappointed that we don't see that in this kit, but you do get a stand, so that's good. Now I've built the Ale Strike, and it's awesome. But I'm gonna build this. But I think I'm actually gonna start with that backpack.
Okay,
I want to see what's just so different about it.
Interested in the backpack.
Yeah, I'm gonna build the backpack. But I'll put this aside for now.
Yes,
I do like the stripes.
It's my turn.
Yes, what do you got there, Mr. Nutcracker?
I'll have to crack nuts.
All right. It's a tough nut to crack.
Now we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
I need to, I've done a bit of masking here.
I see that.
You can see I've taken some tape.
Yeah.
Good masking tape. Bit of paper. I have my primer. So I'm just going to prime the edge.
Yeah.
Because I want the bottom and this edge to be that orange color.
Yep.
This orange color.
Yep.
But I'm also going to spray all the runners orange. Did you know? That orange is just awesome.
I do like the orange.
So
I do.
And after that,
can't go wrong with orange, right, guys?
No, you cannot go wrong with orange. And some say people don't like orange. I don't know. I love orange. And then I'm going to try this stuff.
The weather stuff. Okay.
Now it's pretty toxic,
yeah.
So I'll wear a mask probably and glasses.
Okay.
But somebody.
Around your house.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it. It works. I can poison everyone here.
Cool.
Now someone wanted to actually see once I take off the nub marks.
Yes.
I think we have a pretty good idea.
Well, that's the downside to painting on the runner, as they say, is that when you start removing the gate marks, you have to see what you have to clean up. And this will be the first time you've actually removed a gate mark here after the painting. So
and I'll be crying.
All right, let's have a look.
Okay, so here we have the top of the Nutcracker, and I'm going to use my cutters.
Your trusty side cutters. Those gate marks, they look bigger on this camera.
Yeah, no, it's going to look huge. People, look at my finger.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
It's not terrible.
You will notice there is a gate mark.
Yep.
A severe gate mark, I'd say. Now, just keep in mind, I will be applying that rust effect to it and heavy weathering. But what I will do to fix up these little nub marks is actually just spray this into a little container and just take a brush and just
you just spray the whole bottle
fix
again
it up.
at the bottom. Yeah.
So I'm not too worried
These
about
ones
that.
aren't too bad.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
That's
this area is the big focus for so many people who want to not only paint, but if they do what you're doing and just spray on the runner, they are confronted with gate marks. If they're doing a titanium finish kit straight out of the box, they're going to be confronted with gate marks.
Absolutely.
And the idea of how to approach them actually has been discussed.
Yeah, the titanium stuff I can see is pretty very tricky, but because I've got my spray right here, I can easily fix this up, and I intend to do a lot of damage to this tank, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, so there we have it.
Yeah.
Now Sid actually did some spraying on the runner.
Yes, I did. In a way, I had it easy, of course, because I'm doing snap fit, which meant that I could just cut them off the runner, and I don't have to worry about any glue. And here is the gold frame. He's all finished. And actually, I was really impressed with this kit, and I want to talk about it, which is why I have it right here. So here is the gold frame. You can see it's actually it's got quite sticker heavy. Here's the sticker sheet that came with it, but they actually work really well, and they go in only like certain places, so they don't cover up a lot of the color
subtle.
like you expect it will. They're used for specific areas, and they work. I don't have a problem with that, especially with an HG kit. You want it to be detailed, but there's no way they're going to make a little red part that goes in here on an HG kit. So you get a sticker. It works. I like it. You're also, if you'll notice, there's a whole series of parts that you're not using. Now this is from it'll just say Astray frame. So you use this with the red and the blue. And these ones were discarded to make this arm, it's completely different parts here. You'll notice the arms are not the same. They're not symmetric. So they gave you the parts to make this arm, and which meant you didn't need these parts. But for the opposite arm, you actually built it the same way. My first thought when I saw this was that, if you were to say just order the runners from the gold frame, this kit, and then buy yourself like a red frame, you could make an actual gold frame, normal Astray, just by using these parts. And while I have these here, I'll show you these runners here. Now I spray painted all this gold, and if you look carefully, maybe you can see it.
You can see.
You can see the old yellow,
quite a difference.
the gold. It's quite different.
Yeah.
It works really well. I was worried that when I started cutting these pieces off the runner, that you would see a lot of this color. And you know what? That almost never happened because these parts are undergated. Now you can kind of see it here on this piece here. There are undergates on this HG. The last time I saw, I think, undergates on an HG was with the Delta Gundam maybe. But apparently the Astray, the frames have them. And all these parts were undergated. So when I actually started cutting these parts off the runner, I was left with that good gold and not that the old gold, which was really awesome. And
sadly, my Nutcracker is not undergated.
Yeah, sadly. One other thing I want to show everybody again is just how shiny these black runners are. I was actually quite surprised. Now I've built like black kits before, of course. The Blitz Gundam, probably being the last one, but they're never like this shiny. And at first I didn't notice it because it was in the plastic bag, and my priority was to look at the gold runner. But when I actually started cutting these parts off and taking these runners out of the plastic bags, I realized, wow, this is really luminous. This is really shiny. It's bright. It hurts my eyes, and it's really cool. It looks really good. It reflects really well, and it really goes along with the idea that they want to present with the gold. The gold being shiny, of course. And one thing I think works really well is that the gate marks don't really show that much on these shiny parts, but also you should be forewarned is that this surface, it collects dust like crazy.
Yeah,
that's one thing I noticed about this awesome black shininess is that dust and cat hair and whatever else I have lying around, fingerprints, it does collect on there. So you might actually want to take a tissue from time to time and just wipe down your gold frame because he's gonna get a little bit dusty. But still, for an HG kit, it's great. Now you can take these things off here, and it does come with cables. I think I might have them in here somewhere. Of course, it comes with the beam sabers. Got them here. It comes with this gun, which will allow you, to attach to the beam sabers. Got so much plastic in there. And now you've got these cables as well. These will unwind, and they'll actually plug into here, and you can loop them around. And on this runner, I haven't yet built, you've got even more parts, sword handles and whatnot. So this guy actually comes pretty packed full of plastic. which isn't bad for, I think it's an 1,800 yen priced HG kit, especially with this black. Like, sometimes I look at it and I think extra finish, but it's not. This is just the way the kit comes. It's pretty awesome. Great kit.
Yeah, what surprised me is when you brought in the kit, I thought you'd actually painted it black.
Yeah, I was totally surprised when I actually took that black runner out of the plastic and realized, oh, this is really shiny and not just like the light reflecting off the plastic bag. Yeah, it's really good. And
the finish is top class.
It is. Yeah. For an HG kit, Bandai really kind of went a little bit extra, I think, on this, because it would have been easy just to go, here's a black kit, and here's that lame gold, which you painted, you know, suit yourself, but they've given you all the stickers, and they've done something with that black, and it looks great. It looks fantastic. Now, Ryan,
yes,
as the second part of my little segment today, we're going to go back to the kit bash.
The kit bash.
People have been suggesting more names, of course, and still names pending. And this is what we're going to work on today. This is the skirt section of the Sinanju Stein, and this happens to be the front skirt area of the Qubeley. And what we're going to determine is how to bash these things together. All right, for the kit bash today, on the name pending kit bash kit, you can see we're working on the skirt here. Now the Sinanju Stein has some fairly large skirt pieces, as you can see, and they're divided up, whereas the Qubeley has this huge piece for the front skirt and this even larger piece for the back skirt. And because I like how they look with these stripes here, I wanted to figure out a way to get this onto here, right? And you can see that this goes on by this ball here, whereas this has one center plastic piece that will fit into a polycap. So they don't connect the same way at all, and they're not the same shape. So I had to figure out a way to do this. But the first step would be to have to like make this into two pieces, right? So what did I do with that? Well, luckily for me, let's see if I can pop this out here. I've already got this line running right down the middle. So all I have to do is cut down that. And I thought I could take my saw and saw back and forth, but if I'm unsteady, then I'm going to get a rough line. And this shape, you know, just the shape of the piece means it's moving around. What I decided to do...
Laser cutter?
No. Yeah. Water cutter. I got the tool you can use to scribe panel lines. The panel line scriber. This is also used to cut plastic, make big sheets of like clear plastic, cut them.
Didn't we have that in an episode when you?
We have used this to do panel lines before, which is why I had it at my house. So all I did was open this baby up here, and basically, like I would scribe a panel line, I just ran right down that line here. So allow me to recreate that moment here on camera. It actually just removes a little bit of plastic each time I'm going down here, and the line is very thin, very smooth for the most part, and it's easy enough to just do a few passes and actually just start removing that plastic out of this gap here. And you can see that I've almost got it all the way through here. Go, go, go. Of course, anybody who does something like this is going to go back afterwards with sandpaper and whatever else. But to get this kind of cut, it worked really well. Yeah, that's the sound I want.
Yeah, that's a fantastic sound.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it.
Nails on the blackboard type of sound?
Yeah, no, I'm like, can I get my headphones off?
Yeah, let me move the mic closer so that the people who have their headphones on recording this will see it. Okay. There it is. See? That's actually a pretty good cut.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. Just a little bit of sanding there. We'll take off the roughness here, and this kind of gives me what I want here. Now, to have this top part hang at the same level as this would, leaves this huge gap here, so I think that it would probably be a better idea to kind of put it up in this way, which means I have to try and figure out a way to get that to attach. Now, when it comes to cutting this piece, it's a little bit different. This piece that sits here, like so, because right in the middle there's this huge chunk of stuff. So what I did is I took the side cutters and I actually just cut that out, and then I cut it in half using an etching saw, and I was left with a half.
Oh, a half.
I got a half, and it's easy enough to like just drop back into its old home here, and you can see that it looks how I want it to look. Right? That's how I want it to look, but I have to still get this onto here. And we know that the Sinanju, where are your front skirt here? The Sinanju with the ball joint, it just kind of fits into this this hollow here. They create this little circle which will just pop into here, bonk, and it kind of just stays on. It's not a polycap like you would think some other kits do. And so I actually managed to get a couple replacement parts here because I only want this part, but I'm gonna have to find a way to get this whole thing to fit onto here. And after some scratching around and a few mistakes, I opted to cut some of these plastic away. You can see there's these little details, these pipes. They're not necessary because this is going to be like this. So I cut all these away, and I was able to cut this down and lay it into here. Now the finished product so far looks like this. You can see it's laid on there. Yeah, this is just a kind of a test here. I glued it on there, it sealed it up there pretty good, and it looks like it's supposed to. Yeah. There's some alignment here, but there's this huge gap. You can see, oh my god, there is this huge gap. Well, I could just put putty in there. That would work, but that would mean that painting these a different color would be next to impossible unless I hand painted. What I want to do is to be able to keep this separate, paint this whole piece, and then paint this piece, and then drop them back together. So what I did as a stopgap measure here is I put a run of plastic in here, and I used probably a little bit too narrow. If I had thicker plastic, I'll go back later, but I put this on here. I glued it on with a whole ton of glue there, and then I cut it down and I sanded it down, and now I have this side covered here. And the question is, will it fit on here? And of course I already know the answer because I've done it. It does. Now when it moves forward just a little bit here, it's okay, right? You can see that that side is covered. Now as it moves forward a little bit more than that, you'll see this gap here. So I'm going to go back with some more plastic and I'll cover that up. But once I get that done, I'll be separating it again, and I'll be painting the two different colors. And while I was playing around with that, and I actually got it to work, I thought, yeah, you know what? This works. It is pretty simple, just by kind of slapping this on here. It's very stable though. Like, it's not going to fall apart. I thought about making my own piece and using plastic and customizing that plastic piece to fit in there, but that's a little bit too advanced, maybe for me at this stage, but definitely for somebody who's doing a first kit bash, which is kind of what we're doing here. So I'm going to stick with this for now, and I'm going to go even simpler when it comes to the back piece. Now look at the size of this thing, Ryan. It's huge. It's enormous. Like, I mean, the Sinanju Stein has some big back skirts, but even then,
nothing like that.
Even then, it doesn't compare. So just playing around, I'm still undecided how I'm going to do it, but I did notice that if I stick with the assembly of the skirt frame on the Sinanju, it has this little opening where the bazooka goes, where the rifle goes. Those can actually fit in here. I can actually just plug this in like this, and close this gap, and it works for the most part. If I were to say glue it down completely, it would stay. I would not have any issues with it. And I was actually putting the kit back together once I had this all tucked in there like this. But I'm not too sure yet what I'm going to do, because how this narrows down is going to leave a lot of the leg exposed, and the Stein's legs are really long and it might show some frame. I'm not quite sure how I want to do it. I might even find a way to incorporate this side skirt somehow with this, kind of giving this effect, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, this is kind of already, I've got a lead into how the back goes. But now that the front's done and I kind of know how it's going to look, I can work on the back, and then we'll work our way back on up to the top of the kit. So there you go, Ryan. That's kind of what we're leaning towards so far. The kit bash continues. I'm going to finish the front skirt off, and then I'm going to move towards the shoulders and the arms. But so far, yeah, he's definitely getting bashed up, that's for sure. So there you go.
Actually, while we're talking about this guy, let's do names.
Sure. What are people saying?
Well, the first is kind of a long comment from an email, but it's quite a nice email, so I want to read it. I love Gunpla TV.
I also love Gunpla TV.
Me too. I think it's an excellent show and have been watching it since day one. Unfortunately, I never subscribed. I had an account. Why?
How do you know? Well, when you put out every episode every week at the same time, maybe they don't need to subscribe, but you should.
You should. Make us feel better. Make Google Plus happy.
Yeah.
Since they're forcing everyone to join it. Yeah. Okay. So getting back to business. So I had no means to contact you until now. I just wanted to let you know that I'm a huge Gunpla modeler in a small little town in Texas.
Oh, sweet.
I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with you and hopefully sending in some submissions of my kits for you all to see and enjoy. Hopefully with your feedback and others, I can take my Gunpla to new heights. Yeah, and be sure to join the groups and post in there. That's what they're for.
People can help you out.
I have some name suggestions for the name of the Sinanju Qubeley mix. Maybe you can remember.
Sinanju Janu. Wow, Gundam Sinanju Janu.
The next one,
Janu Beku. Wow, this guy's going hardcore here. Ajusuke.
Wow.
Gundam Qubeley.
Qubeley.
I'll play with the words listen, which means bliss or delight. Wow.
Wow, okay, well that's
very original.
Yeah, I hope you record another great show for us next week. We're trying our best.
We're doing it right now.
Doing it now.
Let us know how we did.
Yeah. Or not. Keep your rage to yourself.
That's right.
You are always the highlights of my hobby. Gunpla TV forever.
All right.
Oh, that's real sweet.
That makes me feel good, Ryan.
Thanks, James.
Makes me feel really good.
Makes us like it's all worth it.
That's right.
Okay, next.
After 131 episodes, I finally accept myself. No.
Okay, next is from YouTube.
Yeah.
Room 3 LLZ. Sinanju plus Qubeley. Senku. Sync.
Synchronize, no sync.
Oh, sync. Okay, that's what it says, yeah.
Yeah, you get the S-I-N-Q, so sync.
No, it's snappy, marketable. Could call your kid it. Next, IC Drag 2002.
IC Drag.
Love the
I see
show.
Dead people in drag.
That was his last good movie. Just got into Gunpla not long ago and found this channel. Awesome work. I have a suggestion for your kit bash name. Use the name Sinanju. Then add a jewel color similar to your final paint color example. Sinanju Emerald. Sinanju Ruby.
Emerald Ruby.
Ruby.
Sounds like
strippers.
Sounds like Final Fantasy.
Sounds like strippers.
To me. Ruby weapon.
Yep.
Emerald weapon.
Next, Lucas Days.
Oh, can I just interject here, seeing as I mentioned Final Fantasy?
Uh-huh.
At the Tokyo Game Show, I saw Final Fantasy 15.
Amazing.
It's mind-bogglingly good looking. It's crazy.
Yeah, actually, I saw a trailer. It looks phenomenal. But thing days, I mean,
everything does look good. It's like movies, right?
Yeah.
All the sci-fi movies with the sound effect, or sci-fi movies with the CGI effects, they all look fantastic. So you really need story.
Yeah, and these days stories is lacking. Okay, next, Lucas Diaz.
Yeah.
Just call him Petty.
Petey?
Petey?
You know what? I like it.
Yeah, Petey.
Totally going in opposite direction.
You know, I would like to know Petey.
I would like Sinanju, Sinanju Beli, Sinanju Petey. Wow, I like it.
Now, I made a mistake last week.
Okay.
As I do from time to time. Not just with the sound, but when Sid was talking about the Lambo.
The Veneno. Yeah.
I had mentioned a show called Top Gear and said, oh, that car was in that. No, it wasn't. It was the Sestamo Elemento. Which was a beautiful car.
I hadn't seen that episode of Top Gear. I'd heard that they brought a Lambo on, but I wasn't sure which one it is.
It was a beauty. And I mistook it because, you know what? They kind of look the same. Okay. But thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
And you weren't the only person. So thanks. Next.
I still love the Veneno.
Yeah. Keener60. Okay, this guy also gets on us a little bit. You guys have obviously never watched Evangelion. Well, dude, I did. Because the Evas are actually living organisms with metal plates placed on them for protection. If an Eva loses an arm, it bleeds and the pilots don't move it. It's like a Gundam that are neurologically linked to the creature to move it. If it gets hurt, the pilot feels the pain with it. You should check it out. It's really cool. Now, I did watch Eva in the 2000s, 99. I forgot, but you were absolutely correct.
I watched it. See, back when I was starting to get into Japanese culture and everything else, I watched it, and I didn't have a dubbed or subtitled version, so I watched it in Japanese, and I was madly confused. Like, I had no idea what was going on.
I loved it. I loved the first season.
I must have forgotten a lot of it.
No, it was. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I totally forgot. Yes, they are organic creatures.
But they are controlled, right? That's the thing. People control them.
Yeah, that's probably more common. I mean, I haven't watched the movie, so who knows. Mr. Waffle. Forget the kid. The kid.
The kid.
I want to know Sid and Ryan's Brangelina name. Cyan? Ride? Rid? Or Ridney?
It doesn't work, though, because Brad and Angelina work because you have
Two hot people.
Well, we got one hot person here. But it's like, I think maybe because they share they share that the Brad and the from Angelina, but it's also long, so they can kind of put it together.
But we share the Y.
Yeah, but it's not pronounced the same way.
No, absolutely.
So it doesn't quite work.
Yeah, and I guess if we were on $1 million salaries, we could do what we want.
We
but
could
anyway,
change our names and make up something.
Final question. Well, final comment about the name.
Yeah.
From Zero Physic something. Hey, Sid and Ryan. I think that this Kit Bash naming system is a little off. Usually in a Gundam successor or mixed Gundam parts mobile suits don't usually take a fusion of their name. Most of the time it's completely original name and only shares part of the model numbers from the previous mobile suits. The name I would recommend would be the MSR-001 Cerberus or the MSR-001 Oni.
I understand his point.
You make absolute technical sense.
I would like to point out that we're just talking about a model kit that I'm trying to build. I don't have backstory yet. I don't even have a color scheme. It's just
maybe the name will come. But it makes. I mean, if you wanted to keep it within the universe,
with that kind of what's that dogma? How do you say
universe? Extended universe.
You use those kind of rules.
Yeah,
we can come up with something. But in the meantime, it's this thing that I'm trying to mash together and come up with something.
But thanks for pointing it out. I mean, I'm actually unaware of the naming convention, so it's always good to know.
Well, you don't know a lot about the anime nor about the different lines. You'll start seeing like mobile suit variations where they have different colors, but they start changing the model numbers only slightly to represent that this is a different model and everything. Yeah. And the next thing you know, the name becomes longer and longer as you add those digits at the end of it.
Some of those names.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The naming conventions. That's what I want.
Naming conventions. Now, that's all I have to say. I'd just like to remind everyone we have a Facebook page, a YouTube channel. We even have a Google Plus now for HobbyLink TV.
Yeah. Thanks, Google.
Thank you very much. And please join us.
Yep. As for me, I'm going to continue on with this Kit Bash. We'll see what goes. When I find something that works, I'll do it and bring it in. And of course, we got new kits coming out, and Christmas is coming, so the big releases are coming. So we're going to show those as well. And we have the model show to go to next month. That's going to be big. So until then, we'll see you later.
See you guys.
And the battery's dying, so I ripped through that. That's fine.